In 1803, a quiet message arrived in Washington. It wasn't public, it wasn't expected, and it wasn't small. France, one of the most powerful empires in the world, was offering to sell a vast territory to the United States. Not a city, not a region, an empire of land, for just $15 million. The territory stretched from the Mississippi River all the way to the Rocky Mountains. If accepted, it would double the size of the United States overnight. But there was a problem. A serious one. The Constitution, the very document Jefferson believed in so deeply, did not clearly give him the power to make such a purchase. So Jefferson faced a defining question. Should he stay faithful to the strict limits of the Constitution, or stretch his authority to seize a once-in-history opportunity? If he chose wrong, he could be accused of abusing power. If he hesitated, the opportunity could vanish forever. Thomas Jefferson made the decision, and in that moment, he didn't just buy land, he reshaped the future of a nation, a mind shaped by curiosity. Thomas Jefferson was born in 1743 in Virginia, into a world very different from the one he would later help create. From an early age, Jefferson stood out not because of physical strength like George Washington, but because of his mind. He was endlessly curious. Books became his companions. Ideas became his tools. Jefferson studied philosophy, science, law, architecture, history. He wasn't just interested in knowledge, he was driven by it. And at the center of his thinking was one powerful belief. Human beings were meant to be free. The words that changed the world. By 1776, tensions between Britain and the American colonies had reached a breaking point. War had already begun, but independence? That was still uncertain. The Continental Congress needed someone to put their vision into words. They chose Jefferson, not because he was the oldest, not because he was the most experienced, but because he could write, and what he wrote would echo across centuries. In the Declaration of Independence, Jefferson declared, "All men are created equal." Those 5 words would become some of the most powerful and debated ideas in human history. Because while Jefferson wrote about equality, he lived in a society that did not yet practice it. That contradiction would follow him and the nation for generations. Power, politics, and rivalry. After independence, Jefferson continued to serve the new nation. He became Governor of Virginia, U.S. Ambassador to France, Secretary of State under George Washington. But as the country grew, so did political divisions. 2 visions of America emerged. One, led by Alexander Hamilton, favored a strong central government. The other, led by Jefferson, believed power should remain closer to the people and the states. These differences gave birth to America's first political parties. Jefferson became the leader of the Democratic Republicans, the election that tested democracy. The election of 1800 was unlike anything America had seen before. It was bitter, personal, divisive. Jefferson faced off against the sitting president, John Adams, once a friend, now a rival. The result? A tie. The decision moved to the House of Representatives, where tension ran high. For days, uncertainty gripped the nation. Would the system hold, or would the young republic fall into chaos? Finally, Jefferson emerged victorious. He called it the Revolution of 1800, not because of violence, but because power had changed hands peacefully between opposing political parties. It was a moment that proved democracy could work. The deal that doubled a nation. Now president, Jefferson faced the opportunity of a lifetime. France, under Napoleon Bonaparte, was struggling to maintain its empire in North America. Unexpectedly, they offered to sell the Louisiana Territory. Jefferson hesitated. He believed in a strict interpretation of the Constitution, and nowhere did it explicitly say the president could purchase foreign land. But this was no ordinary decision. If he refused, another power, perhaps Britain, could take control of the land. If he accepted, he would be expanding the nation in a way never imagined before. Jefferson made the leap. He approved the deal. The United States doubled in size, and just like that, the nation's future expanded westward, into the unknown Lewis and Clark. But Jefferson didn't just want land, he wanted knowledge. He commissioned an expedition led by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark to explore the new territory. Their mission: map the land, study plants and animals, establish contact with Native American tribes, find a route to the Pacific Ocean. The journey was long, dangerous, and uncertain, but it revealed the vast potential of the American frontier. Jefferson's vision was no longer just political, it was geographical. The decision that backfired. Not all of Jefferson's decisions were successful. As wars raged across Europe, both Britain and France interfered with American trade. Jefferson wanted to avoid war, so he chose a different path. In 1807, he passed the Embargo Act, shutting down American trade with foreign nations. His goal was simple: use economic pressure instead of military force. But the result? Economic disaster. American businesses suffered, trade collapsed, unemployment rose. The policy hurt the very people it was meant to protect. It was one of the most difficult moments of Jefferson's presidency. A legacy of vision and contradiction. Thomas Jefferson left office in 1809. By then, he had transformed the nation. He had defined its ideals, expanded its borders, strengthened its democratic foundations. Yet his legacy is not simple. Because Jefferson, the man who wrote "All men are created equal," also owned enslaved people. This contradiction forces a deeper question. How do we measure greatness? By ideals, by actions, or by the tension between the two? Closing reflection. The unfinished promise. Thomas Jefferson believed in something bold, not just independence, but possibility. He believed democracy was not a finished system, but an ongoing experiment, an idea that each generation must struggle to improve. And even today, the words he wrote in 1776 still challenge the world to close the gap between what is promised and what is practiced. Because Jefferson didn't just shape a nation, he left behind a question that still echoes: can a country truly live up to its own ideals? Thank you for listening. I am Jadena. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share for more videos like this.